Make a date with Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwei at 6 a.m. from Monday to Saturday on Graphic Online, via Facebook and YouTube as he expounds on matters of faith. Graphic Online, truth and accuracy every day.
I'm Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwei of Living Streams International. We meet behind the trade fair, behind Zenith College, bringing you matters of faith with Graphic Online. The caption for this morning is very, very interesting. I mean, I'll show you how to pronounce it. Apalahala Apalagoma. Apalahala Apalagoma. Now, Apalahala, very tall person. Apalagoma, very short person, you know. So, Apalahala Apalagoma. And I'm going to talk about a man that anytime I study him in the Bible, he's a very interesting personality. And that man is called Saul, the one who became king, King Saul. You know, 1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 23, makes a very, very, very powerful statement about him. The Bible said, and from his shoulders upwards, he was taller than everybody. And from his shoulder upwards, he was taller than everybody. So Saul was Apalahala, and you and me have a choice also to be Apalahala and Apalagoma. But for me, what concerns me most was not even the physical height, but the mentality of Saul. From his shoulder upwards, he's taller than everybody. And so in the mind of Saul, he must be taller than everybody else. And you can see these three things about him, and we'll be coming to another one in another chapter of this episode. The first one was, you know, he was taller than everybody from his shoulder upwards. So he listens to nobody. He's taller than everybody. He's bigger than everybody. So he listens to nobody. So if Samuel tells him, leave the sacrifice, I am coming to do the, Samuel gives him instructions and say, don't kill everything, eliminate everything, the king, every human being, cattle, everything, kill all. And he says, listen, I spared the best of the flock. I spared Agag, the king. I spared him because I wanted to. You get me? Who are you to give me instructions? The second thing about him, there was one time they were going to battle. Samuel said, wait for me. I would come and offer the sacrifice. Instead of waiting for Samuel, he waited. People were going, hey, listen, I can do. So what Samuel can do, I can also do. After all, I am the king. After all, I am taller than everybody else. Well, in his mind, he's taller than everybody. You'll be very, very surprised. Many of us walk with a mentality of pride, so full of ourselves and so full of rubbish that we think we are bigger and better than everybody else. You believe that you are higher, you are taller than any other thing. You have become an institution. And so because of that, you have respect for nobody. Nobody speaks into your life. Nobody corrects you. Even when you do wrong, you won't even admit it. You know, and that is you are Apalahala. Before God, we must all become Apalagoma. Before God, every one of us must become Apalagoma. Because if you continue with that Apalahala mentality, you'll be like Humpty Dumpty. You will crash. And all the king's men and all the king's horses can never put you back again. You will try, but you can never mend the broken pieces. Because what? You are too tall. Many of us have that mentality. We have become Nebuchadnezzars. It is when God brings us to eat grass that we will recognize that we are nobodies. It is when we fall flat on our face, when something happens, an event that will make you remember that there's somebody bigger than you. And that person who is bigger than you is called God. Cease to be Apalahala and let's walk before God, Apalagomas. But guess what? We must walk with Apalagoma mentality, because that is what God gives grace to the humble and resisted the proud. Pride goeth before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. You know, don't be haughty. Don't be too proud that no one can correct you. No one can speak into your life. When you're doing something, you are a law unto yourself. You are an establishment. You believe that? God will he will use something very little. You know, like Herod, he's sitting down, enjoying the adulation of men. He is like God. Then all of a sudden, he became maggot. He was being eaten from the inside. And then it exploded, stinking. Be very careful. Don't be Apalahala when it comes to God, always the Apalagoma. Don't play the big boss with God. Play the little pikin with God. It helps because he gives grace to the humble. There's so much grace available for Apalagomas, but for Apalahalas, resistance, severe resistance. No resistance of men, no. Resistance from God. Hey, I wouldn't like to be in that situation. Don't ask me. I've tried it. It never works. So sometimes we need to humble ourselves before God. It pays to be humble. Don't be Apalahala. Don't be too tall like Saul, because your crash will be a very interesting one. I choose to be Apalagoma and not Apalahala before God. What's your choice? Follow me and be Apalagoma. God bless you. See you the next time.